James Harden is not going to be in a Brooklyn Nets uniform after this year. It feels like he's gone, right? If you watch the game against the Kings, my man played 37 minutes, had 4 points. 4 points.
He has to try to do that.
He had a hand strain. Not a hamstring, Key, not your hammy, a hand strain in which he sat out of the game. Then he's been having hamstring issues. Body language just doesn't want to be there. Understand that. If I'm Sean Marks, you ain't going nowhere, man. I know you want to be out. I know Daryl Morey and the 76ers want you, which is why Sean Marks and company is saying, I want Matisse Thybulle, I want Tyrese Maxey, and I want Ben Simmons. Daryl Morey isn't going to give that up. I don't see a deal being done. There's not enough time on the table for these guys to figure it out. And the reality is I put KD and James Harden in the room, and I say, y'all need to figure this out. Then I bring Kyrie into the conversation, and I say, all y'all need to figure this out for the time being, because this could get worse. And, James, if you don't want to be here, we get it. But I don't think James Harden would embarrass Kevin Durant. I don't know what relationship he has with Kyrie, but I don't think James Harden would embarrass KD. And that's what it comes down to.
Well, if you're already alluding to the hand versus the hammy in 4 points and what was it, you say 30, what did you say,
37 minutes.
37,
it was like 5 games
minutes.
ago before he started taking off, yeah.
So now all of a sudden you are embarrassing, if that's the case, Kevin Durant. You're doing it to Kevin Durant because that means that you're not out there giving your all, which I can't question that because I really don't know that. The interesting thing that you said, though, and all of that is time. Time of getting the deal done. You're running out of time. There's not enough time to get a complicated deal done, and you're only about 9 hours away from the trade deadline being concluded. And so funny because somebody told me this yesterday, and I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody in the know in the NBA circle, and that's the first thing that they said is they said ain't enough time to do the deal. It's just not. It's too complicated, and they got on it too late if it was gonna happen. But I wonder if they just don't do the deal. You're giving up picks and everything else at the end of the year and in the offseason. You're not gonna get anything. So you might want to try to get a deal done the best you can, because if he walks out the door, if it's true that he doesn't want to be there and he walks out the door, you get nothing.
Well, unless you do a sign and trade and stuff like that, you're going to get a discount. But and here's the thing, Key.
But you're still not getting. But you're still not getting back what Philadelphia is willing
no doubt.
to give you.
But because Harden's better than Simmons, I wonder if sign and trade Harden gets you Ben Simmons, but just no Maxey, no Thybulle. I mean, you're not going to get Maxey and Thybulle in that deal anyway. So we're talking a lot about, whether Harden wants to stay or go. There's a lot of relationship stuff, right? Like, is this KD's team or is it actually Kyrie's team in a weird way? And where does that leave Harden? And is it 3 dudes who are like that? It's just KD and Kyrie who have the relationship. And then Harden, right? Here is Windy, once again, on Harden and Kyrie's relationship.
Last year, Harden and Kyrie really worked hard to fit together. You could see it on the court. You could hear it when they talked about it. They were 16-3 playing together last year when Durant was out. They really tried to work. That is over. The Harden-Irving relationship ain't working. Harden is basically, written it on his chest if you've been paying attention. And Durant believes that he and Kyrie can do this. And so I suspect that will result in Harden being gone, whether it's this week or this summer.
Okay, Jay, so with that in mind, this is Kyrie from a couple of days ago at the presser on February 6th on James Harden. Listen.
I think James can speak better to that than I can. I mean, we've to the swing of things, how all those kind of media plants start going around with rumors and stuff like that. I really do not concern myself with that. So, the few conversations that we've had, he's been really committed. And, we just hold him to his word. But obviously when we're going out to play games, we can't even really think about it. So, we would love to have him in the lineup, but we want him at his optimal healthy. And then, we let the rest take care of it. But, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
That's Kyrie on James Harden's commitment. This is, by the way, speaking of commitment, Kyrie plays in half the games. This is on Kyrie on Harden's commitment.
Operative word I heard there was few. The few times I've spoken to James. I'm not saying, look, when you're teammates, when you're working together, doing a show, not everybody has to be best friends and communicate all the time. But you would probably want people to be on the same page about what's going on, right? It sounds to me like that's somebody that doesn't really have a relationship with James Harden. And when you think about it, at the end of the day, KD and James Harden just want to hoop. Kyrie is obviously making a stand about something bigger that he believes in, which is fine. But I can see where James Harden is like, I just want to win a damn championship. I just want to play. Like, I don't want to go through all this drama and all the stuff that comes along with this. I just want to hoop. That being said, I just want James Harden to push through it. Like, as a fan, after what I saw, how I saw you get out of Houston, fine, it happens. I want to see you get through it. I wanted to see Ben Simmons fight through it, frankly. I just understand Ben Simmons is younger, comes from Australia, probably a little bit more influence. But for James, if the deal isn't going to be done, you still have a legit chance to win a championship, even with Kyrie playing half the games.
The flip side.
Could Kyrie be simply speaking to the trade request there, Jay, when he says that, the few times that he's spoken to him, could it be about a little more context to it, but could it be about the few times that he talked about him being all in, that they've had that conversation, opposed to having conversations with him as a whole? Maybe he's just talking about the rumors that's out there.
Yeah, I don't know, Key. I just feel like, I'll give you an example real quick. Our show. Stuff is going down with our show. Yo, Key, what's up? Key, what's going on? Key, talk to me. Now, I'm not saying that tells you everything you need to know.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.